Hi, Ian. Today I will talk about the impacts of globalization on my life circle human product. Mm, when first time to see this topic, uh, telephones and internet came into my mind. After some research, I found there do have some relations between globalization and communications industry. Mm, because we are society members, so the communication between between us and other people is necessary. So there is also a short history about communications industry. At first, people write letters to communicate with each other and send them with birds or uh, just sent by people. It's easy to lose some letters by some accident, and it took a long time to get a reply. So people want to change. Then the telephone was invented, but the telephone was expensive because when a new technology was being used, at first it's always expensive and people couldn't afford it, and normal family could not use telephone, so it's when it's like that, the telephone must become cheaper to suit for the competitive market. So after that, it become cheaper because globalization gave a competitive environment to the global market. Uh, After that, telephone, the price of telephone is reasonable and normal families could use them. But the telephone was not invested in my country, so if there is no globalization, I could not use telephone as my communication tool. Um, after Because the telephone was fixed, so it's difficult to move or it's difficult to take them with us. So it's when people was outdoor, it's difficult to find them. So people invested beeper. Beeper is a machine which can receive message from a telephone, but it can't replay. People should find a public phone or fix the telephone to call them back. And it's also there is a problem if there is no fixed telephone or public phone, they can't replay the message. So the beeper was uh, just quit the stage of history when the internet and mobile phone was invented. The mobile phone is a combine with beeper and telephone. Um, People could use them to send a message or make a phone call in any place because its awareness and mm, internet is the greatest investment in 20th centuries. Uh, People could get free information on internet and also they can share their information. Um, because because the internet it's gets all sides of knowledge, so very grateful to it's great to promote the development of globalization, and also globalization make the internet could used in the all the area in this planet. So uh, after that, the laptop and tablet PC was invested, and the smartphone was also invested. So the development of human communication industry has important relationships with globalization, and globalization is just like a invisible hand to push the communication industry forward. I think in the future, it there will be some better way and faster way to communicate with other members, because the globalization it's a trait it's a trait that couldn't stop, and just it will become more and more important in our future life. Thanks for listening.